I am Arefa Hassani, and I am currently in my bedroom in Adelaide, South Australia. I am a woman of Asian descent. I have light brown hair and a fringe, and I'm currently wearing a top that is beige in color and has embroidery on it that I brought all the way from Afghanistan. I am a textile artist, and I mainly do kutch work and mirror work, which is a really common form of stitch across South Asian countries. And I specifically do a lot of kutch work on fabrics that I then turn into artisan bags. I also do thread painting, which is essentially using thread to paint images instead of paint, essentially just putting together an image using a thread and a needle. And I particularly enjoy making landscape thread paintings. So I'm in my room, which is literally my physical and emotional and spiritual sanctuary. I've got my window that's got a really good, it's a good source of light for my room. So I've covered it with a whole bunch of different kinds of plants that I'm fascinated by, and I love small things because I like detail. So I've got these little miniature pots that I've got plants in that I keep on my windowsill, and I just love to make time in the afternoons to just sit down with a cup of tea and watch the sunset across my room. And as it highlights my little miniature pots, I just go in a different world. And my art is for, well, one, it's for people who have an eye for detail because it is very fine work. Part of the reason why I started doing this was it's very nostalgic for me because it has a feeling of home. It has a feeling of connectivity with my ancestors. I remember this one day when I was talking to my parents about what my mom wore when she was younger, what my dad wore when he was younger, what the people in their village wore. I was trying to find out, to kind of imagine and picture in my head what people looked like when my parents were growing up and what, because they don't have any images with them. And unfortunately, my parents told me that there really none of that has remained. And my dad talked about how when he was younger, people used to have their own looms and they used to have cotton fields and they would make their own fiber and they would color their fiber themselves. So there's this culture of creativity and just slow and sustainable living that my parents described that I have a yearning for, and I feel like a lot of my work is me trying really hard to emulate that as well, because I really want to appreciate and encourage and create art that is slow, that is sustainable, that is ethical, that we don't see a lot of, unfortunately, anymore. Art is such a diverse and beautiful form of expression. I'm a huge lover of poetry and literature and music and anything that captures your imagination and anything that can enhance your creativity and that can allow you to express yourself and that can allow you to tell stories. I think storytelling is such a powerful tool, especially in this increasingly divisive world where there are so many things that can distinguish us from each other and that can separate us. I feel like usually the one thing that can bring people together and the one thing that can help us find a common thread is art. This is a Persian poem, and I think my dad read it to me some years ago, and it has one of the phrases and it has stuck with me ever since. And then I went and I found a version that I really enjoyed, and so obsessed with it. And you'll see why when I recite it. نمیدانم که آخر چودم دیدار میرقصم مگر نازم به ای ذوقی که پیش یار میرقصم تو آن قاتل که از بحر تماشا خون من ریزی من آن بسمل که زیر خنجر خوخار میرقصم اگرچه قطره شبنم نپاید بر سری خاری منم آن قطره شبنم به نوک خار میرقصم بیا جانا تماشا کن که در انبوه جابازا و صد سامان رسوایی سر بازار میرقصم